Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our weekly college chess podcast. My name is Joe, and I run the Collegiate Chess League. And I'm joined by, of course, Max and Mauricio, who were here last week. They are our college growth managers. And we have a very special guest today, Nick Makarov, who is a college ambassador as well as one of our interns here at chess.com. So, Nick, you want to introduce ourselves? Tell us, like, where do you go to school, what year you're in, what you're studying, and what you do.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm Nick Makarov. I interned here with business development and brand partnerships. I kind of got like switched around a lot, but here I am. I'm a senior at the University of South Florida, where I'm currently located next to a frat house that is like actually playing a little bit of music right now. It's kind of annoying. And I study business analytics and information systems. And yeah.
So, business analytics and what systems?
Information systems. It's like it sounds like it's 2 degrees, but it's not. It's literally just one thing with a really long name.
Okay. And what is your plan with that degree when you graduate?
Yeah, probably. Well, I got a job in kind of like IT, but I kind of want to do more like data analysis stuff, maybe data science. So I applied to Georgia Tech for my online master's. So hopefully I can do that like while I'm working and get my master's in analytics.
You're about to do a master's and work.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be
You
rough.
think you think the college ambassador program prepared you for
I think so.
that?
The absolute rigor and just like work ethic that it's instilled in me has prepared me for, many avenues in life. So I highly
True.
recommend anybody on the edge of like joining that you should go for it. It's great.
That's awesome. So I know you're
Thanks.
from Florida, and Mauricio is also from Florida. Um, what's the college culture like in Florida? I'm assuming it varies by school.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, like down south where Mauricio is and like Miami area, it's definitely, you're kind of like rich party culture. You got University of Miami and FAU there. Um, I think one time when I was visiting there, I was like in a McDonald's parking lot and then I saw a guy who was live streaming on TikTok and I recognized him and this really doesn't have anything to do with college, but this is all I think about when I think of South Florida. It was a guy completely shirtless, just like with a bench in the McDonald's parking lot. And his name was Mr. 225 on TikTok. And the whole thing that he does is just say he's going to bench and then he doesn't bench. And yeah, I just drove past him. And that was like my one like interaction there. But uh, like other colleges like FSU and UF are like more kind of academic but still kind of partyish, and then you got like UCF and USF, which are like Central Florida, like Tampa and Orlando, and it's kind of like a mix of everybody.
Can you attest to that, Mauricio? Have you seen the bench guy?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the bench guy at all, but I hope that for his next episode he incorporates some chess into that. But totally, I hear you with the South Florida being a big party nation. I feel like Florida has a lot of big schools, right? When it comes to East Coast schools, Florida takes up a lot of those bigger schools, and so just like that, you see a lot of party culture. I I hope that the same sort of level of interest in partying translates over to chess. Unfortunately, I never went to school or I didn't go to college in Florida. I went to college in Boston, but maybe Nick can talk a bit about his experience at the chess club at University of South Florida.
Yeah, don't want to outshine the chess culture with the party talk. That's just like I don't know, it's just like Florida people think about that. Yeah, it's really cool. We have like one local like actual club that is in this little shack in St. Petersburg that like always has tournaments that a lot of people from our chess club go to. It's actually the first tournament I ever like did like for like in person over the board was there. And then the chess club culture at USF here is great. We play in like the food court, so everybody can kind of like watch us and see. Like in the middle of my games, I literally always see people like walking by and just like kind of like looking, just like, oh, like what's going on there. Sometimes people like actually come up and you just like invite them, like, hey, you want to play a game? It's really open, like really welcoming, and it's not like too competitive. Like it's very relaxed.
Nice. And are you an officer of the club?
Yeah, I was last year. I was marketing director, so I had the idea I was gonna make this like campaign video, and in it I played on Chess Kid, and like one of my points was like, oh, I'm like great with kids, and like I get to the point where I'm about to checkmate some random kid on chesskid.com, and then I resign. I think that's what got me the position.
flawless execution. Yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on about playing in public like that is super hype, because when I was on my visit in Canada at Waterloo, I literally sat in the food court with the chessboard and we played with random people, and like people just come out the cracks. And I feel like college culture in general is like conducive to that, right? Like people are more open when they're in college to be like, I'll do this random thing, right? Like because you kind of have the attitude, like college is kind of like that. You're trying out all these things and like trying to figure out who you are and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like the chess culture is pretty decent over by in South Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Nick. Now time for the tough questions.
Okay.
All right.
Gotta tear out
So
the sweater vest for a second.
what do you do as an intern, and how do you think you got the job?
Yeah, so I went through kind of like 3 rounds of interviews. First, I started out with the ambassador program. Actually, I was like part of the first cohort in the summer. And Max over here reached out to me and had a meeting with him, and I was like, oh, I honestly I was thinking about interning at chess.com for like a year before that even. I went so far as to like message someone from HR on LinkedIn. I was like, hey, if there's any internships open, like I'd love to join. So it's kind of cool how it all like materialized in the end with the ambassador program. So I think that was like the major first step, was joining. And then after that, just I don't know. I feel like I did well in the interviews. Just talked about like my chess background, where I played like a lot of online, and I got to the point where I was like trying out some tournaments and stuff. Um, and yeah, I think it was just my passion and for working at chess.com.
Is this your first internship?
Yeah, I had a couple of on-campus jobs, like as a tutor and as a project manager assistant, but this was like my first like real like you know internship work.
Did you have to get anyone their weekly coffee during their meetings, or?
No, yeah, good thing the team here is all remote, so I did not have to do any coffee. Maybe like some PowerPoint slides, but no coffee delivery.
Nice. Mauricio, you have any questions for him?
Yeah, Nick, I wanted to ask you, can you walk through one of the projects you worked on? Even if it was just a slight contribution, can you walk through one or two of your projects? Because even I am not totally familiar with the projects you worked with Austin on or Grant on, so it'd be great to hear from you.
Yeah, I'd say my major impact was over the summer when I was working in brand partnerships, where I would be like sourcing like tons of companies. So I would be doing just like research into esports culture, just like new tech, everything, like delivery services, everything that kind of like aligns with our audience. So I think I reached out to like Dashlane, which ended up being a sponsor. A couple other companies that I don't even, again, like I would source like, I think in total probably like 500 to 600 contacts, maybe more, like 100 companies. So that was more of like the like direct impact, where you can like put a dollar sign amount on it. And then in terms of like business development with Austin, it's been really exciting, just seeing like the inner workings of like, okay, we have like this company and we have chess.com. How can we kind of combine the two and have a common goal and grow both of our companies and grow the game of chess? So I think that's been the coolest part, just seeing like chess in the business format, not just like playing online, and just making a job out of it was just like such a great experience.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Damn,
Did you
wait.
play a role in?
No, go ahead.
Did you play a role in the Razer partnership?
Yeah, I actually found the right people to talk to for this Razer gear. By the way, if you guys are watching, to do the club champs, do the TikToks. The Razer gear looks really good. Yeah, I found them and just kind of like sat in on a couple of meetings, and it was cool because I've been using like Razer products since I was like in 6th grade playing CS:GO. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Damn. Dude,
Well-
so how did you find these people? You just find them on LinkedIn or Googling them and stuff like that?
yeah, just Google, LinkedIn, just like make sure they had like the right credentials. I wasn't gonna reach out to someone who's like, a financial data analyst, like more, like business development
Yeah.
people, partnership people. You have to like find the right levels, to like find the key decision makers. So yeah, mostly just LinkedIn.
When you tell the ambassadors that are listening to compete in the Razor Gear competition, have you or your club also competed in these competitions?
Sadly not. Again, like my role is more as an intern compared to the ambassador program, which sadly is taking a back seat. But next semester, I feel like I'll be able to contribute way more. It's kind of hard with senioritis and everything, but I'm trying my best. I think it's pretty doable. I just haven't. We actually did collaborate, not for Razor Gear, but with the Ultimate Frisbee Club. Actually, we had like a charity tournament.
That's really cool.
That's dope, yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, you mentioned a ton of different California or Florida schools. I'm thinking like, do you guys plan on having like a college state championship maybe? How much collaboration is there between all the different Florida schools?
Yeah, I haven't personally like worked on it, but I know my club has played against UF before. So I think there's definitely a want for it, and just like how Marcia said, like the fact that all the schools are so huge, there's definitely like big like rivalries here. So I think it'd be something like definitely cool to do in the future.
Awesome. Well, if there was any advice that you wanted to give to any viewers that are maybe interested in like applying for either the ambassador program or an internship at chess.com or just like getting involved with the chess club in general, what would your advice be?
Yeah, I think just stick to the passion of chess, stick to growing it, because at the end of the day, that's like really what these programs are for. Like whether you're interning, like I think like the main kind of like mantra of employees here at chess.com is like it's not it, at the end of the day, your job is to grow chess, and there's a ton of different ways that you can kind of help do that. And I think the ambassador program is like that good first like stepping stone.
Awesome. Um, Max, Mauricio, do you guys feel like you have any advice for aspiring college students or potential interns or ambassadors?
Yeah, I think Nick is right on a lot of the counts. Being passionate and staying in communication with us. I feel like Nick and I were chatting before we met and stuff, and like that's really important because it's just easy. Like people always want to help you. Like I always want to help people. We always want to help our ambassadors, especially. So I think like being active in the ambassador program is literally helpful for many reasons, but one of the reasons is that it just keeps us close, like in contact a lot, and that is great when you're trying to get an internship anywhere, especially here, because we can message the right people and kind of nudge them in the right direction.
I think ambassadors in our program are in a very unique position. When you're searching for internships or jobs, you have like this urge to reach out to HR folks and message them on LinkedIn without being too overbearing. Like Nick was saying, he was messaging people on LinkedIn, and you want to keep on messaging and following up, but you don't want to come off too clingy. But in this program, you're in this position where you could just chat us up whenever you want. Like, we encourage it. So the more active you are as an ambassador, the more active you are in this pursuit of an internship, odds are the more likely, it'll happen, because you could put yourself out there without any sort of repercussion, which is a really, really cool thing about this program. It's sort of like the segue, the precursor to what could be another, a full-time job or an internship or what have you.
Yeah.
Did you guys do internships when you were in college? Because I had never done an internship.
I went to Northeastern University, so they're sort of like known for their internship programs. We did like a co-op program, and so I was thrown into 3 different 6-month internships, but they were really full-time roles. So that was interesting. It was cool. It definitely helps you. It helps you get set up. It sort of like shows you what corporate environment's all about, or what your future role would be. I think that being an intern or working as in a corporate setting during your college life is super duper essential, because school can only show you so much, and at least in my role in marketing, a lot of what I do isn't actually theory, as if which is what you would learn in school, and so it's definitely a good experience.
Yeah.
Did you do any interns, Max?
Yeah, I interned a couple times. I did an internship in Washington D.C. for a nonprofit, and that was super sick. Like commuting every day to work on the train and stuff with like all these business people, and like interning like a block away from the White House was pretty dope. And like Mauricio said, it really helps you understand because in college you learn a lot of theory, you learn a lot of like how things work and stuff like that. And if you go down a path that does that, then you're pretty set. But if you go into a more corporate setting, or looking for a job, understanding what will be asked of you before you actually have to do it, and like, because as an intern you have so much more leeway. Like, you're not like, realistically you can't make mistakes, because no one's ever going to give you something that's so serious that it's going to like so it allows you to have this freedom. And like the ambassador program is like that precursor, so it's like perfect, where you can just like figure out how you can excel the best in like these spaces, which is important because you got a long life ahead of you, especially if you're graduating college.
And one thing I will say about working or interning at chess.com is that it especially helps you get set up for the real world workplace, because nowadays a lot of businesses, no matter what it is, whether it's an insurance company or a tech startup or whatever, they're transitioning to digital workplaces, and chess.com being totally remote is really cool, because usually you're trying to balance like this level of socialness and professionalism, but here you're trying to balance, how do you communicate online, and that's a skill set in of itself. So that's a really cool additional skill that you would acquire interning with chess.com or any sort of remote company.
And did you guys do like unpaid internships, or were they all paid?
It's a combination.
Yeah, it depends. Like I got some compensation, but it wasn't great.
My first ever job was as I was a salesperson for this plastic to-go container company, and I was paid super duper low, minimum wage, and I was like driving left and right all over South Florida. Like, I drove 3 hours north to visit a restaurant, and looking back at it, I thought to myself, I was definitely abused.
Oh no.
You're in a multi-level marketing scheme or something.
Nah,
Right?
they just knew that the young kid who doesn't understand yet what like how much your work is valued.
But yeah, Nick, you're fully paid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.com would never.
Are they paying
We
you to be
pay
on this
Nick in chess pieces.
podcast?
Yeah, I get paid in diamond membership.
Nice. Well, yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? Like, should all interns positions be paid, or like it depends on the internship? Like,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, they need to be paid because you're creating value for that company, so you should be compensated for it. All the labor and time that you put into doing something, if you're an intern and you only work 10 hours a week, yeah, you get less money, but that's because you work 10 hours a week. You should always be paid for work that you do, especially for a company that makes money. Like maybe you could let it slide for a nonprofit to have an unpaid intern, but I still stand against that for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like most internships should be paid, if not all. I kind of try to like stay away. I think the kind of job market has changed where like most of them are paid now. Because I remember like growing up, I don't know, I probably shouldn't base my like idea of the economy on like iCarly or something, but I feel like I remember there was like a bunch of like talk about unpaid internships, but then when I was like actually applying, I never found many of them.
Did you say iCarly?
Yeah, yeah, iCarly.
I love that.
Nick, I thought you watched Zoe 101, or did you watch
All
both? No.
all of the above. Jimmy Neutron was like my favorite though.
Nice.
The question is, have you seen the iCarly reboot?
No,
No.
I've stayed
man.
away.
I used to watch iCarly too. Did you watch Wizards of Waverly Place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show. I was into that.
Oh man. Wait, so did you say you did apply for unpaid at all, or no?
No, I stayed away. Like
Nice.
I like rarely would see them, and I'd say like by far like there were much better opportunities that were paid.
That's good. That's good. I think yeah, growing up, you get this kind of idea that interns are like these coffee fetching people that just want to like get connections and they're not really getting paid or whatever. So it's good to know that in the application process, you had a lot of options. And would you say that like chess.com's intern position was like high up on your priority of ones? Like obviously you took the spot, so I don't know how many other opportunities you had in your application process.
Yeah, I had a couple for like some local companies in Tampa, but like I said, like I always thought like working at chess.com would be like a dream of mine. Just like chess is like one of my like biggest passions, so it was like really cool to kind of combine that into like an actual career.
How long have you had a chess.com account?
Since I think since 2019, I started playing chess as a kid, and then I didn't really play much after that. But then my friend and I kind of got into it, and then COVID hit, and then I was class of 2020, so I graduated like straight into the pandemic. My first year of college was completely online. So I would literally be like holed up in my apartment just playing like 6 hours a day rapid games on chess.com. And then my brother got me a platinum membership for Christmas, and that was
Oh,
like the start of it.
okay. Well, for Christmas, you got to get them back, right?
Yeah, I think I had an extra actual membership because you get the membership from the ambassador program and the internship. So I sent him the extra one.
Nice.
Shout out Andrew Makarov.
So, older brother?
Yeah, yeah. He's crazy. He's like 2000 or something
Oh,
rated.
wow.
Yeah,
And Nick, how often as an intern do you play chess on the job?
a lot. More than I should admit.
I know you played Max and Mauricio before the call, right?
Yeah, I got flagged by Mauricio,
Oh man.
sadly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mauricio,
I'll admit it.
he's a speedy guy. Um, and I think I had like one last question. Do you know how many other interns are working at chess.com? Do you work with them often or not really?
I was the only intern on the business side. I know that there were like several interns more in like the software engineering part. And I think they had like more like group collaboration, but there was never really much like overlap between us.
Cool. All right, well, Max, Mauricio, you guys have any other questions?
Nah, I'm good. We do need a max height command though.
Mauricio?
No, I'm fresh out of questions. I'm all for playing chess
You
now.
will keep
Speaking of,
Nick,
Yeah,
before we end here, did you have any other questions for us?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Let me think. That's a deep
And
question.
maybe
Um,
Don in chat has a question too.
let me see.
Well, no,
I think I just opened chat, so I don't see it.
don't worry, he hasn't. I'm just asking Don if he has any
Oh,
questions.
gotcha. Yeah, I'd say I just kind of want to ask like what working at chess.com or like working in this ambassador program means to each one of you.
All right, let's start with
Damn.
Mauricio.
Okay, we start with-
What's it mean to you, man?
well, let's see. For me, I think that I'm the newest growth manager at chess.com for this program. I started in I want to say June or July, I think. So just at the beginning of the summer program, and so I was never really part of the beginning workings of this program, but as I started getting familiar with it, I really grew to love it, and I got really excited as to what it meant to be part of this program because truthfully, we are starting a viral movement is the idea here, right? So the idea is to get college ambassadors to not just grow their clubs on campus and on chess.com. I mean, that's the first step. Really what we want is them to become like on campus and viral sensations. And with that sort of like pretty far into the future vision, it's hard not to get excited about this program because there's just so much work to be done for that great goal. And I'm really excited to be part of this team.
Max?
Damn. Yeah. No, I mean, the ambassador program, I was there when it all started. So kind of the opposite of Mauricio, but yeah, realistically, when I was, what I really see from the ambassador program is just like allowing these students to be leaders of a club that's more than just like a weekly meeting and like something that you can add to a resume, something that like you can actually learn like real experience, connect with like us at chess.com. I mean, our boss tells us that our ambassadors are extensions of the company. They're pretty much employees. Like they're right there. Like we want them to feel like they're part of it because you guys are doing so much like cool stuff and like it just like it can grow so much and it's so cool to see like these communities from all over the country, like 200 plus schools, like all these people's chess clubs trying to make chess like just a little bit better on their campus and just like growing of the game. And it's like a game that I really like and it's really fun and I think it's like beneficial to everyone that plays it. So I think like having people on campus that are doing that is super important. And even for people like me who knew about chess and wanted to play chess in college but didn't because my chess club was essentially non-existent, like I'm so glad that my chess club isn't anymore. And like that's so dope.
Yeah. I mean, we're all about growing college chess, and the fact that we can turn this into a job is just a huge testament to how much the game of chess has grown and how well chess.com is doing in growing chess. So huge props to chess.com and each one of us and all the ambassadors because we're all just one giant team that have the same goal in common, right? Grow college chess. That's at the end of the day the job. So the ambassador program is a huge part of that. I joined chess.com working as the commissioner of the Collegiate Chess League initially, which for me is just an absolute dream come true because I was just doing it for fun, like just as a hobby. Because like, I mean, you named all the Florida schools alone, like they really could start their own league, and that's actually what I did in California when I was a student. So when I graduated, I was just like, we should do this, but on a national or even international level. Like it's a no-brainer. And I was actually shocked as a student that it didn't exist. And so it made sense to like start something like that. And I knew there'd be a ton of interest. And I'm just really grateful that it turned out to be successful because it got so big to a point where chess.com was like, we should hire this guy to run it for us. And so seriously, it's an absolute dream to make that a reality. Is just incredible. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful for this job. I love working with chess.com. All my coworkers are amazing. Like working with Max and Mauricio every day is incredible. The fact that like we're supporting all these college chess clubs, just like from my own personal experience as a chess club leader, I I know firsthand that a lot of schools just really don't give as much funding or opportunities to these clubs that like chess.com is currently doing. And so I think it's incredible to be now in a position where I can use chess.com's resources and give that out to these different college chess clubs, because a lot of them are struggling or aren't growing as much as they could be. And these opportunities we're providing in both the ambassador program, the collegiate chess league, and even like these internship positions is something that literally didn't exist just like 2 years ago. Even like the internship position in the college ambassador program literally started this year. And so it's really cool to be at the forefront of something at the beginning, and be able to help grow it, and to meet people like Nick, just getting an internship for the first time is a really cool thing to be part of. So yeah, good question. I'm really happy to be here. And I'll just end with saying that we do have some things coming up. The Collegiate Chess League Finals is literally starting tomorrow. And the U.S. Blitz Championship is on Sunday. So big events coming up. Are any of you guys tuning in, or you guys have any favorites to win?
I'm tuning in for sure, but I got no favorites except for Ben Lee, maybe.
Ben, I think Ben got eliminated last week.
Last week? All right, then I got no favorites.
Yeah, but he is a fan favorite, also known as Papa Pizza.
Facts.
But Chess Jiao is here from U Chicago. He's boarding a plane. I don't know if U Chicago will be playing in the Blitz Championship. We missed a couple of their players last week in the Rapid. Nick, do you have any favorites?
No favorites. But I'm definitely tuning in.
How's USF doing? Are they gonna be playing in the Blitz Championship?
No, like I said, we're more of that relaxed culture, not too competitive yet. We gotta build ourselves up.
All right, how about you, Mauricio?
Yeah, I'll be stuck here in Buffalo, New York throughout a winter storm, and so
Yeah, good
all I'm
luck.
gonna do but stream this. And so no, I don't have any favorites, but I'll be on.
All right, should I do some commentary on a chess match between
Yeah,
who's
let's do it.
mean, I don't have like a scene built for this for the three of us, but I
gotta go anyway.
I can watch a game. All right,
Okay.
well, I think we're probably just gonna end it there. If you guys want to watch their game, go to chess.com. Try to find
Go
it.
to chess.com and find it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you all for
Thank
being
you, buddy.
here, and stay tuned for this weekend. We've got some big matches coming up. Again, my name's Joe. This is the second episode of the College Chess Podcast. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.